So I want to talk about something that has nothing to do with the Thunder Frog. Has to do with the company. But so, move the camera here now. You may have seen right back there. Um, God, I hope it looks backwards from my perspective, but that's a movie poster sitting on my shelf, and that movie poster is for the movie The Gamers 3: Hands of Fate. And so I am a fan of the Nice Dinner Table magazine. I read it every month, and I so in one of the early issues there was this article about a movie called The Gamers, which I did not know at the time was actually filmed here in Washington State, and in my home, and it was about a group of gamers people playing role playing game in a basement in a college this one night, and the actors portraying these characters were totally hamming up the dorkiness of what they were doing. But periodically during the story, they would cut away from the game table to the fantasy world, and they would you'd have the actors then in costume and portraying the various characters that that they're playing in the role playing game, and it was hilarious. Probably not funny if you haven't played D&D or some other similar game. If you played Shadowrun, played Rifts, any kind of game, you probably will get the joke. But regardless, or Ninja Turtles role playing game. But regardless, hilarious. I ran across a copy of it while traveling through Vancouver, Washington, at yet another local game store, which is gone, and I picked it up, gave it to my friend for Christmas. We all laughed our asses off, saw the movie dozens of times, and then one day, me and another friend happened to be traveling through Tacoma, discover a game store called the Game Matrix, and we walk into the Game Matrix, and what do we find on the shelf but a copy of the second Gamers movie? We couldn't give up our money fast enough. Took it, went watched it immediately, and it was twice as funny as the first film. And so, I've probably seen that movie 50 times. It's my all-time favorite movie. And I've seen it more times than The Wrath of Khan, which is quite a claim to make. So then, as time goes on, I have the good fortune of meeting the people who make the movies, and have had the opportunity to work on comics in that take place in their universe, and I'll talk about that in a future video. But there was this neat story where I'm working on some projects for them, and then I get Gamers 3, which is in production. It's literally like less than 4 weeks away from its release date, and I get this frantic call, and I go, they need me at the Zombie Orpheus offices. I go rushing down, stop in, have this talk with the guys, and it turns out that there was this. A lot of the film was green screen, and this background plate, there was something wrong with it, and I of course took one look at it, and knew exactly what had happened, and knew why something was wrong with it, and they needed it fixed, and they needed it fixed yesterday because the movie was in trouble. So I was able to get the picture they needed, put it together. It will be next QR code right after this will have a picture of it. But anyway, so I put this whole thing together. We recreated the stained glass window that was supposed to be in the movie. We got this picture drawn of the character that they needed integrated into the stained glass window. Alex, who is our big lifesaver, he recreated a stained glass window virtually in a computer. I went out to a church, convinced them to let me take photographs of one of their windows. We took the actual stained glass panels illuminated by sunlight, composited them into this picture, and then I had to figure out how to color the character in the picture so that he matched up with the stained glass and looked like a stained glass illumination. And let me say, Alex and I had a couple late nights doing this. I told him to give me 2 weeks. I had it ready for them in 8 days, and the movie was out on time, and I got to work on the sequel to my all-time favorite film. And it doesn't get much better than that. I mean it does, obviously, of course it does, but it's just for to be a fan of a project like that, and then to go on to being a participant and I'll probably get a chance to work on future films. Um, it's pretty awesome, and so that's why I have this poster, and I want to talk about that since it's part of the video, and I figure please tell people what it is. Check out the movie, by the way. All these movies are awesome. They're on YouTube for free to watch. You can buy the DVDs. Please do. So support the movies we make. But it's hilarious, and check out what we did.